All right,
Yes.
so yes, so we've come to the the end of the reset. You've done two parts of the reset, and we've just done the entrepreneurial reset. So I'd like you to tell me for this session, these last four sessions, what was the experience like for you?
Well, for me, Terrian, it was a good experience. I was able to handle some of my fears to the extent that, I could deal with some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And when you all put me in a situation to go back into my past life with my parents, my grandparents, and to see if there was a common thread in terms of entrepreneurship, I think that did a great deal for me. As I said earlier, it sort of lifted a burden from my shoulders, and I really felt a sense of relief afterwards. I can now face some of those same demons or fears or whatever it is and smile at it, because when I look at my mother, we had a kind of strange type of relationship in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But lately, because of this reset program, I was able to face her and talk about some of the past issues. And I was very comfortable doing it. And I made her comfortable too, because you all make me comfortable as well, the way you post things. So for me, that was a great thing. And I want to say thank you all for bringing me through this and helping me feel that sense of relief after speaking to my mom.
Mm-hmm. And for you because you're a budding business, but you're not budding, you have many streams of income from what we'll call micro enterprises. I've identified
Yes.
at least 5 or 6 streams of income. How do you see the program? Has it been beneficial to you?
Yes, indeed. As I said, that just the fact that you know, send me back into my past to
Mm-hmm.
look at some of the things, and some of the things I understand, and it helps me see the strength and some of the things you all had mentioned as well. You put us in a situation to a lot of analogies you use, like with I'm seeing better leadership qualities within myself, and like everything is within. It's just that we need somebody to help us bring it out. So we always have this potential within us, but somebody has to be objective on the outside and see what it can do. And I think that is what you all did for me. So I feel better off, more confident. I feel more like a business person now to look at the types of business that I am involved in and try to maximize and monetize my passions as well. And I think that's what you did. And I would recommend this to anybody.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Why do you think someone may not think of doing a reset program like this?
Why not? Why shouldn't they?
No, why would they not be inclined to do something like this? What made you do it versus not do it?
Well, for me, there's something in me there's always this need to learn and achieve. And it doesn't always mean money, but it could mean other things, as I indicated to you all, that legacy for my children, that continuum, that continuity. So we could all benefit. I mean, there's so much wealth in this world, and as Jen will say, I don't think the biggest insurance policy or the biggest sale has ever been made. So as yet, you know, so there's so much to go around. There's so much to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's all we need, a little coaching, a little guidance, and that could prompt us. I mean, too often we go to school, we learn this, we learn that, but that is all we do. We learn academics, we learn certain values, but things like these, coaching and mentoring, is always absent.
Okay.
You know, when I was in sales, oh yes, go for it, Tiger, do this, do that, but they're not really coaching you.
How to?
They're not picking out for them, and you know, so this is a step in the right direction.
Great. Really, really happy to know that. I know Jan had a couple questions she wanted to ask you. I will come back again
Yes,
and ask you about our process. Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's not so much questions, but just I know you did the life coaching sessions with me. This was about 2 weeks prior.
Yes.
And now you just completed the entrepreneurial sessions. So I just wanted to know during that time to now, you know, having completed both sets, how you saw our first session, how we began with the life coaching, how you felt about what effect has it on you from then to now?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because even though it's two separate things, they seem quite, they could overlap in a sense.
Sure.
When you asked me about going into my past, I mean, it wasn't as detailed as this other one, but
Yes.
because of what we were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first did the exercise with you, I, on my own, did other exercises looking for those gremlins within that,
Yes.
you know, that, like what caused a certain behavior and that type of thing. And I eventually looked at some of them, and it's an ongoing exercise as far as I'm concerned. You know, but again, as I said, it brought me a sense of relief and realization that, hey, don't blame anybody for your failures or you know, or don't blame anybody for anything. Just look at yourself, look at within and see what probably caused it and what role you, well, that is me,
Yeah.
play within the whole scenario of things. I don't think we are all victims, but we can look back and kind of recreate what happened and try to live that positive life from today onwards.
Great. So you didn't think being 50 plus that you felt that, okay, I'm 50 plus, I did it all, I have enough experience, I could, you know, I could be in charge of my life already. You know, did you feel at all that it wasn't, and I know Terry asked a similar question, but did you feel at all that 50 plus you didn't need to have anybody, you know, help you through the process of transition, that transition process?
Yeah. Well, at one time, maybe so. I thought I was mature enough to deal with most of this stuff, but your intervention had made a difference as well. As I said, I feel more confident, more at ease, and I can handle, you know, the different phases. But, you know, when you say 50 plus, before I never used to think I'm 50 plus or anything like that. Maybe that's why I try to stay young. But that as it is, I have no problem with it in terms of when we started and we look at the different phases, like that third phase, that is something, well, together with this business enterprises,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to, you know, I feel that I'm a little more equipped to face the future with this, with these discussions.
Well, that's great. I'm so happy to hear that and really wish you all the best in your life journey.
I thank you so very much.
Yeah. Thanks.
One more question, and
yes,
it's got to do with our process. We used assessments. You had an assessment before the life coaching, you had an assessment that was organized for entrepreneurship. And these assessments were developed for us specifically to look at transitioning from the 50 plus person, and also entrepreneurship in the third act of life. Your experience using, I'm looking at your experience using the assessments. What comments do you want to give us about the use of assessments, us using the assessments, and you going through the assessment process yourself?
Yes. Well, when I go to the doctor, usually they ask me a lot of questions about, you know, my history and everything. So they too do an assessment, and if they do that, you know, I don't believe they are doctors. They just can't watch you and say, "What's wrong with you? Let me give you this," right? So I think you all have tailored the discussion to suit my needs. And if it wasn't for the assessment, then you wouldn't have had known my needs. So I think you all had it clear, and I think the assessment play a very, very important role in what you do. You know, without that, and the different stages. And you know, at the end of the day, it boiled down to exactly how I answered the results of it.
Yeah.
Based on. So I think it's a very good tool to use.
Excellent, excellent. Okay,
Well,
Kester, anything else you want to tell us that we haven't asked you, or we haven't mentioned that we haven't said?
Well, what else can I say? I mean, over the period, I have enjoyed this experience. You all have made me feel so comfortable, even though sometimes it might be hard to give of yourself, and you know, sometimes those personal things to strangers. Well, I don't consider you all strangers anymore. So you all know me inside out. And I think you all did a fantastic job, and I'm looking forward to, you know, more things that you all may have in the future. For example, I Wednesday night session, I tuned in afterwards because I went on along. Only last night I was able to watch it, and I looked at some of the comments that people made, and I thought, you know, they were valuable. I am happy I did this. I'll try to recommend it as much as I could to people. I share. I remember sharing the link with most of my 50 plus WhatsApp friends.
Yeah.
Because I WhatsApp a lot with most of my friends, share stale jokes, all kind of things. So, you know, so I don't mind doing that, you know, and that's how it works. You help me, I help you.
Excellent, great. But
Great.
that is our Connection 50 Plus model. So, Kester, thank you so very, very much. We will be in touch. We will continue to be in touch with you in terms of making sure, just touching base on the journey and keeping you in touch with all our programs and products and things like that. And we all have to be partying on this third act stage, man.